We are monitoring severe weather all across central Texas. Today's flooding is blamed for one death. A body was found along the Colorado River near Lake LBJ around noon today. Powerful water from the Llano River knocked out a bridge in Kingsland. Our cameras were rolling as the FM 2900 bridge collapsed around 9:15 this morning. Just stunning video. We are expecting the Llano River to crest for a second time tonight around 8 o'clock. We have team coverage all across the area tonight. And Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler is tracking more rain that's moving in. But first, we want to go to Walt Macaborski. He's live at the Max Starkey Dam in Marble Falls. Walt, it's just an incredible sight there behind you.
The force of this water is so scary. We're waiting for the second crest of the Llano River. That's going to dump into the Colorado. And over the Starkey Dam, it continues to build hour after hour. And that cliff behind me, the raging torrent over there, just seems to be getting worse and worse. I've seen, as some people call it, a parade of debris come over the Starkey Dam. All the floodgates are open, and now we're waiting for that second crest of the Llano, and it's ripping homes apart along the shoreline. CBS Austin's Adam Hammonds has been following this, and you actually talked to a resident who lost part of a dock.
Yeah, so I was just standing out here earlier this afternoon. A man came down, and he asked me, "Hey, have you seen a boat?" And I said, "No, I've not seen a boat." But he then went on to say that his boat dock was taken away by the water. And it really just shows how high and powerful this water really is.
Oh, there it goes.
As Craig Campbell watched, his boat dock rumbled and struggled in the raging river. That's the roof above water.
My boat's underneath it, and so it's starting to float it up. And then finally it just gave out, and it's gone.
Then his dock, boat, and jet ski floated downriver.
It took away everything.
Fortunately, his home is safe. Later, he got a better look at those powerful waters.
This is amazing. It's just amazing.
His dock is just one of tons of debris that floated downstream over the dam. From more jet skis, a roof, even a full shed.
We saw a jet ski go over about 5 minutes ago, and it was just disappeared like in seconds. It was gone, and not going to be seen again anytime soon.
Many nearby residents, including teacher John Clark, came to see the dam. Some saying this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing to see the water this high.
It's definitely scary.
For Campbell, he's thinking of homes downstream when he sees that water and debris.
Once it gets past Travis, Lake Austin, all those people, their homes are close to the water, and I really feel bad for them. I hope they're okay.
As for his dock, he's just surrendered to the power of the river.
What are you going to do? We had a lot of great memories there, and we'll rebuild.
Again, even though his boat dock was taken away, with all this water right there, he is concerned for the people who live downstream. Back to you in the studio, Heyman.
Adam, thank you. Just unreal video there of that dock being swept away. Some school districts in that area are already announcing delays for tomorrow. Marble Falls ISD, Burnett ISD, and Mason ISD will all be starting 2 hours late. The school buses will still run, but they'll pick up the students 2 hours later than normal. A Leander school bus driver is behind bars tonight after he had to be rescued from floodwaters. Look at that bus stuck in the water. Leander ISD tells us the driver tried to drive through a low water crossing near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. The district fired the driver. One student was on the bus at the time. The neighborhood of Valley View Estates, which is where this happened, they're making a public plea to Williamson County to install gates there that can be locked during flood events like this one. A live look out at Lake Travis tonight. This is the Mansfield Dam. The lake is closed. It's now 100% full. It's jumped about 8 feet or more just since this morning. The lake is getting some relief right now. A fourth floodgate there at Mansfield Dam was opened just about 30 minutes ago. Throughout the afternoon, the LCRA was opening a floodgate every 2 hours.
And an update on Lake Travis, which is up again, now up to 685.98 feet, which puts it at 109% full. When you combine that with Lake Buchanan, also on the rise, which is 94% full, we're currently at 102%. So how much higher will we go? Right now, the LCRA is forecasting Lake Travis to rise to between 690 and 695. That would be within the top 10 highest levels Lake Travis has ever seen. Lake Buchanan expected to stabilize at about 1018 to 1020. The way that that they're able to do that with Lake Buchanan is they're going to start to release some water from it, which will eventually pass through the Highland Lake system and end up in Lake Travis, which continues to rise. So it's already in minor flooding and it's approaching moderate flooding. The forecast now would put it somewhere between moderate and major flooding. So we are well on our way to deteriorating conditions, especially in the usual spots like Graveyard Point at Lake Travis that always have issues when there's high water like this. In addition, one thing that can't be downplayed is the fact that there's going to be a lot of debris along with that fast-moving lake and river water. So that's another thing that could cause some issues, is debris getting hung up as it's trying to make its way through. So here we go, minor to moderate flood stage now and expected to continue to rise. For your reference, if we're talking between 690 and 695, that could put us as high as 7th highest water level there at Lake Travis before this flood event is over.
I'm Walt Makaborski live in front of the Starkey Dam. Oh, we just lost a light out here. Everyone is okay. We're watching the floodwaters come over the dam right now. You know, rescue crews from across Texas are working overtime trying to get people out of their homes and rescue them. A big problem happened today in the Granite Shoals area, and that's where we find CBS Austin Sarah Navoy, who is live out there. She was out there this morning, and rescue crews got to some people in the nick of time.
That's right. Rescue crews had to get some people off of what's referred to as the islands out here, where homes are kind of across a causeway area jutting into the lake. That's the area where the homes took on the most water. And everyone I spoke to says they were amazed at how fast this water came up. Right now, it's down a little bit from where it was this morning, but first responders tell me it will likely go back up. As homeowners gathered their things, they say they were caught off guard by this water. It took just minutes for their backyards to fill up. Then water began creeping into their homes.
Got our dog and as many valuables as we could put in bags and important papers, but we know that our downstairs is flooded.
I watched, I can't tell you how many boats, buildings, refrigerators, Sea-Doos, all floating down what used to be a lake, and it's a raging river.
I've been coming up here since the 60s and I've never ever seen anything like this.
First responders say they are stretched to the max right now. Not to mention this floodwater is really unpredictable. So they're asking people right now to stay off the roads. And if you're in a safe, dry place, they ask you to stay there. Reporting live in Granite Shoals tonight, Sarah Navoy, CBS Austin News.
Important reminder, Sarah, thank you. The city of Austin has put a waterway ban in effect for the next 48 hours. Lady Bird Lake is expected to rise another 2 to 3 feet over the next couple of hours. We'll have more on our flooding coverage coming up.
And we're continuing to monitor the flash flood threat. Although the rain has temporarily gotten into a lull, we still have flash flood warnings for portions of Burnett, Llano, and Gillespie counties until 9:30 tonight. Tracking that plus more rain on the way.
The city of Austin has put a waterway ban in effect for the next 48 hours. Lady Bird Lake is expected to rise another 2 to 3 feet over the next couple of hours. The Butler Hike and Bike Trail is closed along the lake to keep people safe in that area. Right now, more than 220 roads remain closed across central Texas. Those are the spots marked in red on the atxfloods.com map. It is illegal to drive around barricades at the crossings, so be sure you turn around and don't drive through those crossings. And take a look at this video of a house floating away in Cottonwood Shores. This is along the Colorado River this morning. You can see it in the top part of your screen in this video. It's unclear right now if anyone was inside that home.
I'm Walt Makaborski live in front of the Starkey Dam. We're waiting for the second crest of the Llano River. That will flow into the Colorado and over this dam here. They've opened up all the floodgates at the Starkey, and that cliff across the way here is 100 feet tall. That water is rushing 80 feet high. We have continued coverage live from Llano on CBS Austin News at 6:30.
And at least for now, the areas that need the rain least are drying out. There are still some showers out to the northwest into Mason County, though I think we'll see a temporary lull. More rain is on the way, and I'll track it for you coming up.
You're watching CBS Austin News, Central Texas Trusted.
Up and down the Llano River, people are breathing a sigh of relief because they were able to dodge these raging floodwaters. But some people are going to return home to flooded homes and just devastation. Now, CBS Austin's Fred Cantu reports that people that survived now want to help out those in need.
There's a certain excited relief in the air here in Marble Falls. A lot of people feel like they just dodged a bullet, but they also know all too well that not everyone was so lucky. You don't have to go farther than Lake Marble Falls to see the devastation left behind by what so many have called a catastrophic flood. And some are especially heartbroken after learning that while they might have survived unscathed, their neighbors lost their homes.
Yeah, the poor folks across the street, they're super nice people. They just bought that house across the street, and now it's literally maybe 1.5 to 2 feet from the rooftop.
Relief efforts will have to wait. Many of the homeowners have been told not to return home. It's just not safe. In Marble Falls, Fred Cantu, CBS Austin News.
Incredible new video shows an aerial view of the LBJ Dam. Look at all of that water. The Texas Game Wardens are continuing search and rescue efforts in the area. That fast-moving water has been pushing debris down the dam all day.
And we're continuing to watch the rain, which had been heavy and steady for a good clip, and now it has been, fortunately, in a lull. There are still a few showers far northern sections of Mason County and heading off toward the north and east. I truly think that we're going to get into a lull that could last maybe till around midnight before more rain starts to move in, and I'm hopeful that the additional rain should be on the light side. That said, for whatever reason, last night we saw training rain showers that continued to just pile up inch after inch after inch of rain, which is exactly why we're in the proverbial boat that we are, which is dealing with flood warnings that will continue. Flash flood warnings until 9:30 for Gillespie as well as Llano County and portions of Burnett County, although the current rain has subsided. But so many areas are still in flood, and that is why those warnings have been extended. Also, the flash flood watch all the way until 7 o'clock on Thursday. Anywhere farther toward the east, no big deal for you because we just haven't had the amount of rain that other folks have seen. For instance, 12.6 inches in southeastern sections of Mason County in the last 5 days, 9 inches in Llano, 9.3 out toward northwest Gillespie County. All of that, unfortunately, causing that early morning crest of 39.91 feet, the second highest on the Llano River this morning. Still watching. The projection was that we would see a 40.1 foot crest tonight at about 8 o'clock. But you know, as I watched the graph, it's actually dropped a little bit. It had gone up to about 31 feet and it has dropped about a foot in the last hour or so. So the National Weather Service is currently putting together a revised forecast, but this might be a little glimmer of hope. We'll keep you updated. The earlier forecast was for it to rise up to about 40.1 feet at 8 o'clock. That's just an hour and 15 minutes away, and so far so good. We're not seeing that dramatic rise, although it's still very high. River flood warnings in addition to the Llano River do continue for Sandy Creek near Sandy Harbor, just near the Kingsland area. The Pedernales River still continuing with moderate flooding. I just saw some video from a viewer there. Impressively strong water there. San Gabriel River, minor flooding. Still some issues there in Georgetown. And as we've been tracking, Lake Travis, there are floodgates open. And despite the attempt to pass all those floodwaters through, it still continues to rise. 109% full now, 94% full for Lake Buchanan. That gives us a total storage of 102%. Now, the good thing is Lake Travis, once it's technically full, doesn't spill over. The spill gate is at 714 feet. So you can see right now we're in minor flood stage, which is 685. If we reach moderate flood stage, that's 691. The forecast is between 690 to 695. If we hit 695, that would be major flood stage. But you'd have to get all the way to 714 for seeing the water spill over. And to be honest with you, that has never happened. You can see the top 10 highest levels. We're probably going to land, if we stay below 695, somewhere between top 7 to top 10 highest levels at Lake Travis. In the short term, future track computer model pretty quiet for us. Most of the rain just to the north and west. Toward tomorrow evening, seeing some scattered showers move in. Hopefully they pass along instead of stalling through. And then toward Thursday, we'll keep in some possible showers as well. Different computer models giving different solutions. This is one of the better solutions, which is not bringing all that much additional rain through early Friday. Friday afternoon, only 1/10 to about 3/10 of an inch. However, there's a different computer model that brings a much worse scenario to us. This is through early next week, giving another 2 to 3 inches to areas to the south and east and about 1/2 of an inch out toward LaGrange. So the jury's still out on the setup, but I will tell you tomorrow, though I've got a 40% rain chance, I don't think it'll be all that heavy. We should be able to recover a bit. Thursday, Friday, up to a 70% rain chance. There could be some issues there in the hill country. Saturday, could see some showers. They don't look all that heavy. Then Sunday, finally a dry day, but more rain chances next week.
Powerful water destroys a Central Texas bridge. We revisit the moment it happened live on CBS Austin this morning.
Powerful water rushing down the Llano River wiped out a bridge in Kingsland today. It happened at 9:15 this morning, and CBS Austin reporter Melanie Barden was there live watching it as it happened.
Oh my God, Excelsior, the bridge collapsed. Excelsior, the bridge collapsed. Just in the past minute or so, we heard a very loud sort of rumbling noise, and everybody had their eyes on that bridge already. Wow, look at that out there, that wave. Because of the force of that bridge and all that concrete now coming down the river, it's really impacting how high this water is getting. Pieces of the bridge just flipping over. The LCRA pushing people further back. They are moving this tape further back, telling people, get back, just to see it all happen and see it all play out in real time. The moment the bridge came down, it was just kind of eerie. This debris could get stuck on other things. It could impact people standing close to the shore. It's reached far above flood stages here, the second highest in Llano River's history.
After the break, historic flooding across Central Texas. We'll have a recap in case you missed it.
Back to Llano. Go. All right, there. Bridge has just collapsed. Sophia, sorry, this bridge just collapsed. This is right now in Llano County, FM 2900 bridge. It is just now a raging river. It's been a raging river. It is just added to that since that collapse of the bridge. And let's zoom in right there. We could zoom in, Leslie. Our photojournalist Leslie Ulrich doing a fantastic job for us.
They have found a body on the Burnett County side of this river that they do believe someone has died in this flooding. Now, as far as we know, this is the first person that we have heard that this flooding has amounted to any deaths.
So you had a boat dock that was next to the river. What happened to that dock?
Okay, so this morning I get here about 7 o'clock, and it's hanging in there. The water's pretty high, but I can tell it's stressed, and my boat's underneath it, and so it's starting to float it up. And then finally it just gave out.
You can see the powerful water still coming over the Starkey Dam. We're dealing with another crest tonight at around 8 o'clock, so the danger is far from over.
God has pulled me through all of them, and I pray that God takes care of everybody and keeps them safe.
And we have a live look right now at the Mansfield Dam, where they are opening the 4th floodgate there at 7 p.m. All of this to relieve the flooding that's happening up starting at the Llano River. And we know that the river is expected to crest again tonight.
Yes, it is. And it could be a delayed crest. National Weather Service said they're going to issue a new forecast. We'll put it on social media as soon as we get it.
We'll be following this throughout the evening and see you back here with the latest at 10.